Hi guys, this is Pestily and welcome to another Escape from Tarkov video. In this video, I'm covering the TarkovTV live podcast which just happened, as well as patch notes 0.12.10. I'll go through all the updated news topics from the podcast, and then I'll do a complete rundown of the patch notes with all the leaks, images, and that chucked into it. So guys, without further ado, let's crack straight into it. All right, so the podcast was based out of Battlestate Games headquarters with Nikita and Demirka. And they spoke about all the upcoming things over this year, focused primarily on patch point 12.10, and then moving through all the other stuff, and then answering a heap of questions. So starting off with patch point 12.10, they're planning to release it sometime early next week, so sometime within the next 7 days. And there's a lot of changes with that. I'll put all the patch notes. I'll go through all the patch notes at the end of this video, but just know that it's planned for early next week. There won't be a wipe with it either. And Steam Audio will be back. So that's probably the big one that a lot of people will be looking forward to. After patch point 12.10, 12.11 will come out sometime in the future after that. There's no date yet. And there's a lot of stuff coming with this patch. They summarized as 12.10 being a smaller patch, just kind of fixing up things, a lot of bug fixes, some new items and stuff. But 12.11 will be the next big patch. And it's going to come with the factory expansion, which will have the new SCAV boss. Now, I don't have the best Russian linguistics, I guess I'd put it as, but Kovolda or Kovolda will be the name of the SCAV boss for factory, and it's going to have a big sledgehammer. He's going to be running around with a big sledgehammer, so that's going to be pretty hype when that comes out, and I'm excited. Factory's one of my playgrounds that I'd love to play in. Also, 12.11 will have streamer mode. We don't know the specifics about that streamer mode yet, but I'm guessing it's going to hide like raid code and probably names on death and stuff like that. So it'll be a little bit of a quality of life improvement for streamers. The rework for sights and scopes will be in patch 12.11. SCAV Karma, they're planning to release in 12.11. I'll give you the summary of what that is now. It's pretty much if you protect other SCAVs, do SCAV tasks, but he didn't call them tasks. He said like missions for as a SCAV, and I guess perform well as a SCAV and get some not kill other SCAVs. You're going to increase your reputation as a SCAV, which will be reflected on Fence, the trader Fence. So Fence will have a rework, and he'll have more levels to unlock. And the higher level you have, the better items you'll be able to buy from him and cooler features. He didn't actually name any specific things, but it does sound pretty cool. Sometime between patch point 12.11 and patch point 13, there will be a patch for the Lighthouse map. So we don't have any specifics on that, if it's going to be called 12.12 or whatever, but that will be the patch after it. And just to go back on 12.11, we don't know if there's a wipe with that one or when's the next wipe. So straight up, we don't know when the next wipe is. Patch point 13, they want to have it out before the end of the year, and that will be the one with Streets of Tarkov. Now, there will be a lot of images hopefully up on the screen showing off Streets of Tarkov. They probably showed about 20 images, and they said they've got some sort of a build ready to go now that they can actually show a trailer for Streets of Tarkov, which will be pretty cool when they release that. Now back onto some other just random topics. A third of the company is back working in the office right now. Battlestate Games did take a bit of a hit when it came to the development progress, because some of the staff work better at home and some don't, particularly to do with like sending data and information of updated, like what they're working on between users. So a third of the company is working back in the office right now. The question of drops came up. So there'll be drops on the Punisher 3 tournament, being my tournament, on the 8th and 9th of April. Potentially drops on the Twitch Rivals tournament, whenever that is. And also the Evasion tournament might have drops. I don't know. They weren't very specific about that, but that's hosted by Sigma. You should definitely check out the Evasion tournament. As for the Tetris barter trade, Nikita made a joke that Demirka accidentally changed the number, and that's why you can't get it. But he said no, there's not going to be any changes to make it available in mass amounts anymore. They want it to be a rarer thing. So just deal with it, get over it, move on. But he did make the joke in Russian about, it's funny how as soon as you take away the Tetris barter trade, no one complains about servers and cheaters. All they care about is give me back my Tetris barter trade. So that was the translation from what he said in Russian. For VOIP, that's planned for this year. The English-speaking bear, he said they got the voice lines for it, but he's not really sure if it fits in with the game lore and if he likes it or not. So they've already got the actual recordings done for the English-speaking bear voice lines, but he's not sure if it's going to get put into the actual game or not. Shoulder switching, there's plans to have it done, and they're going to try and work on getting testing started on that this year. There were some leaks showing off the SCAR H, which is the 762 variant, and also a full image breakdown of the SCAR parts, which was a pretty cool thing to see if they actually do have lootable items for each of those parts. The MP155 Ultima shotgun was also shown, and that comes with a thermal sight, and it's meant to be a really brutal shotgun. So it looks like the, I think it's like the Predator, the Peacekeeper from Apex Legends, or it looks like out of like Doom. So pretty nasty looking shotgun. Now the MK47 or 74, I'm not really sure the exact name of it. It's an AR-762 by 39 rifle. There was also a video leak for that. It's Battlestate Games' like hope that by the end of this year they'll also be able to release or let people know when the official release date of Escape from Tarkov will be. So maybe next year, maybe the year after. We'll have to wait and see. Nikita did make the joke also about the game going to PS5. He said, because people were asking all these questions, and I'll go through some of them in a second. But the PS5 exclusive, if anyone has any contacts for PlayStation 5, get in contact with Battlestate Games, and maybe they'll try and do an exclusive with PS5. But I don't think that's going to happen. Let's be honest, Rust can't even do it, so we'll have to wait and see. I'll go through some of the questions that were asked by the community. So what is the biggest technical challenges that they were facing this year and took up most of their time? It's mostly networking and cheaters. What's the vision for the economy? Now, because the economy's been such a big topic of recent, people want to know what Nikita's vision is for the economy. And he said it wants to be as human influenced as possible and unpredictable. And I think we've seen evidence of that with the fuel, how the fuel has just been taken out or being made really rare. And so therefore it's like we have to like scavenge around for that fuel. So yeah, that's a perfect example of what they want to have, but he went into a lot more detail. So the traders will have days off. They'll have bad moods. They'll get sick. And this will affect the global economy of certain items, or, being able to purchase from a trader at all. Global events that will cut the supply. So for example, maybe the traders won't get resupplied for a period of time, stuff like that. So he wants it to be like a real world trader would be. And sometimes they just run out of stock of certain items for a period of time. So I guess the best way I could word it is just deal with it. It's going to be a feature in the game that Nikita wants, and that's in his vision. So just, yeah, prepare for that. What are all the server changes that have been happening? So you know how we get these downtimes where it's like game's going to go down for 3 to 6 hours and they're doing stuff with servers? Nikita explained that they've been changing a lot of servers that were bad servers into better ones, and sometimes they're still bad even when they make the changes, and they've got still a lot to do with it. He said it's really difficult to get servers in particular places like the Middle East that are actually affordable, because a lot of them are really expensive. And even when they do get the really expensive ones, they're still bad servers. So they're trying their best to get the best servers possible for the game, so we can have the best experience playing it. Features coming for this year was the question asked. He said they want to have the weapon malfunctions and jammings in, low and high ready, and IR lasers and flashlights. So apart from all the stuff that we've already spoken about, that's some extra stuff that he wants to get in this year. And offline co-op is planned, but they have no idea when that's going to happen. All right, so moving over to the patch notes. If you wanted the news and summary of all that was just happening over the TarkovTV live, that is pretty much all the news. I'm going to read through the patch notes. Feel free to keep listening and watching if you want to, but I'll give all the information I know brought up, because Nikita read through these as well. So there's actually some additional info to them, at least to some of them, and we got to see some of the footage as well. I'll try my best to have imagery of all the stuff that was happening there as well, so during the podcast, so you can actually see what we're talking about right here. So starting off from the top, they added new SCAV boss voice lines for Ashala, Senator, and Gluha. So they did have new ones added to the game probably about a month ago or two, but apparently a lot of people complained about them, so they went out and recorded new voice lines from like a really professional voice actor place in Moscow, and so they're adding them to the game in 12.10. New actions and conditions of SCAVs and sounds for them. So they're going to be a lot more vocal and just act in different ways. So I guess we're going to have to wait and see exactly what's going to come from that. New clothes for USEC Bear and SCAVs. They did show off the clothing for the USEC, I think he was on, or the Bear. I'm not really sure which one it was, but I didn't get a good look at what items there were, but it's going to be new for both USEC Bear and the SCAVs. So moving over to the new equipment, there's going to be two new chest rigs, 2 tactical slings, a hunting vest, a chest rig, 2 slick plate carriers, a new backpack called the Gunslinger. And this backpack is like this, it's like a 3x12 or something. It's like a really long, narrow backpack. Looks really cool, but I don't know how much purpose it's going to have. Ballistic glasses. There's going to be a new optical hearing, or what do you call it? Active headset, active hearing, or optical active hearing. The GP7 gas mask, which is like the white one, but it's a black mask, a black gas mask anyway. And army cap in several variations of colors and camouflage. Cool. So just your normal army camouflage ones. New items added to the game: emergency water ration, a hemostatic tourniquet cat, which is pretty much like your S mark or your once-use tourniquet, but it's going to be a faster use one. The the AFAC personal tactical first aid kit. Now, the difference between this one and the IFAC is this one has 400 health instead of 300 from the IFAC, and it has 170 health used to stop a heavy bleed compared to 210, which is what's required from an IFAC. So it's pretty solid because you'll actually be able to stop 2 heavy bleeds and still have some left over, whereas an IFAC, you can only stop 1 heavy bleed and then you're pretty much out of juice on the IFAC. 3 new ammunitions, a 7.62x39 AP ammunition. We won't have the stats of this stuff until the patch is released, and then the information gets released by pretty much the wiki guys. So unfortunately, we won't know what is that exactly. There's also going to be a new 5.56 by 45 AP ammo and a Mark 318 Mod O ammo as well. So I'm not really sure what that one will be, but have to wait and see. I'm guessing it's going to be like maybe a middle to high damage ammo. There is a new SMG pistol kind of gun. It's pretty much a new and approved fancy Saiga 9. So it's the STM 9 pistol caliber carbine. I took some notes on it. It is it's a Russian-made sports weapon created for competition use. It uses Glock mags. It's semi-automatic, and it's pretty much just a cool-looking Saiga. I probably won't ever really use it much, but you might be able to make it that you can shoot it really fast, and depending on how fast you can click. The PL-15 pistol is also being released. That's also another 9mm pistol, and it uses its own separate mags, not the Glock mags. So it didn't look like it had big mags though, which is unfortunate. Probably means it won't be really a high-used gun. This got a heap of new gun parts, a special melee tool. So this is like a new melee weapon. It's a machete that's only going to be found in raid, and it's meant to be some sort of like way you can flex on people by finding it. 3 new barter items being the TP200 TNT brick, the ratchet wrench, and a can of termite. So Nikita said there's going to be barter trades and crafts put into the game for these. New filter for the stash for items found in raid. So if you want to see which ones you can sell on the flea market or not and be able to sort that out, there'll be a new filter for it. Sorting of quests by current location. So if you go to the task menu and you press up the top like location, you'll be able to sort which ones are the specific maps. Message item already purchased has been moved to notification. When you double tap the voice line key, aggressive phrases will be played as in combat. So in the past, you would have to shoot and then press F1 to be able to, like, I don't know, say you effing so-and-so or whatever. Now you can just double tap F1 to do the same voice line. So all good there. You don't have to shoot first. When placing a new offer, the item selection window appears to the left. So you actually see, I do it a lot. I don't know if you guys do the same thing, but when you go to put an item up on the flea market, you're like filter by item, and you go add offer, and then it's right in the middle, and it blocks all the prices, and then you have to move it to the left to be able to put the price in, just to make sure you are doing it for the cheapest price or whatever. Now it'll already be on the left hand side. The big quality of life change for just saving a bit of time on the flea market. Experience category icons on the post raid screen. We'll have to wait and see exactly what that looks like, but I guess it's going to be a breakdown of your XP. I guess we'll have to wait and see. For changes, the Steam audio option is back after fixes. So every time they bring this back, there seems to be more bugs with it. Hopefully it'll be actually the final time. So we'll have to wait and see. The thermal imaging, oh, by the way, with the Steam audio stuff, it's not Steam audio as in like the full package. It's just one module of Steam audio. So it's recommended that you use it on. Veritas did a really good video explaining why you should have it on. Go check out that video if you want to know more. Thermal imaging rendering system. The loot is no longer highlighted. So sometimes you'd be looking through a thermal sight or a T7 thermal monocle, and you just see like a backpack just glowing. So that won't happen anymore. And they're also making it so certain players from different distances, and that will have different sort of heat signatures and stuff like that. So I have to wait and see. Hopefully it looks cool. I might even try and get some recordings of using thermals now so I can compare it when the patch happens. I think that'd be a cool thing to do. Fence offers are no longer displayed on the flea market. I think that's a bad thing. I think they should be showed on the flea market. It's the cheapest way to get a 6B 43 armor. This damage is just hope one goes up on fence while you're looking at the flea market. Rain sound is now 30% quieter. Big like thumbs up, because sometimes when you get stuck on a full day of just playing in the rain, it's no longer going to be deafening. Reducing the strength and endurance bonuses. I really hope they take a bit of a hit, but have to wait and see as well. We don't know the specific numbers, but even if it was cut in half, that would be a big one. I'm worried about the jump skill, because it's really rough when you're trying to jump and you have a low level. So hopefully they do that one right, but we'll have to wait and see as well. Adjusted player spawns on customs. Increase the hideout management leveling speed if solar batteries block is built. So for people that didn't know this, if you were actually leveling up your hideout and you upgrade your hideout management skill is leveled up when you're using fuel, the air filters and the water filters. And as you're using those filters, the faster you use them, the faster your hideout management levels up. However, when you upgraded the solar panels, you would actually reduce your consumption of your fuel by half. And so therefore you would actually level up your hideout management skills slower if you actually upgraded the solar batteries. So now that's been fixed. So you will actually upgrade at the same speed as before, which is good. Simplified the attention skill progression and the mag drill skill progression. I spoke about it a little bit ago, and I worked out if you were to unload a complete mag, one per raid, like a 60 round mag, one per raid, it would take 45,000 raids. And if you were to do a raid every 5 minutes non-stop, it would take you like 4 months to get it to max level. So that's without sleep. So I put that information across to Nikita and said it's broken and at least needs to be changed in some way. And they've simplified it somehow. So cool. Happy with that. Missing items from the SCAV after the end of a raid. If you're at this point where there was a game update or the backend was unavailable for other reasons. So if you survive a raid at the end, the servers go down and you no longer get to that screen where you can put the stuff across. Now there'll be a method, I don't know what will happen, where you'll actually be able to keep those items. So it used to be really brutal, particularly if you had like this god tier like scav run and then the game dies and then like from the servers going down and you've lost all that stuff that you got from that raid. Now you actually get to keep it. All right, for fixes, high volume breathing of some bear and USEC voices. They already made a big change to make these fixed, so I'm guessing it's just fine tuning. One of the bugs and the grenades explosions without sound and explosion effects. Sometimes the grenades just don't make any noise at all, and you kind of just fall over and die and go, how did I die? And it was a grenade. Lighting issues when spawning on interchange. Sometimes it's lightning issues when spawning on interchange. Not really sure about that one. Empty quick healing screen. Error 228 if the filter end while crafting purified water. Oh, that would always happen. So when you finish the water filter, it would bug out and you'd have to like go back into the hideout to put the next water filter in. So that's good. Resetting the progress of the mag drill skills after leaving a raid. Also an issue with the mag drill skills. Even when you did level it up, sometimes it just reversed it to the back at the start of the raid. So it was just even more frustrating. Inability to load into the game if you take in a raid a lot of maps with a lot of maps with tags. Okay, so that's bad translation. That is when you take in a dog tag case full of tags, sometimes you couldn't load into a raid. So yeah, there was a massive bug with that and a massive issue with that. So people would go into a raid, they wouldn't be able to spawn in, and then they'd lose all their gear. So that's been fixed, thankfully. Reset the selected character customization lower to the standard. Car extract sometimes failed to trigger at the end of the exfil timer, so that's a good fix there. Difference in the time flow of the hideout generator. Playing the sound of a distant gunshot while the shooter is in close proximity to the player. Never heard of that. Bots not spawning on factory offline in horde mode. That's kind of cool because a lot of people like doing that for practice. Various places on locations where it rained indoors. This happens on interchange a lot in Goshen. You'll just see all the rain. It's like you're in the rain, but you're inside. Ability to save the preset if you are critical parts missing on it. Okay, cool. That's in the weapon preset. So sometimes, say you didn't have the gas plug in it in an M4, you wouldn't be able to save it. Now you can. The player receives an outdated invitation to the group after restarting the client. Yeah. Missing shadows on factory after reconnect. Currency conversion error in the client when exchanging currencies on the client with the resulting amount was shown slightly less than necessary. Fair enough. Inability to ensure the coldest knife, and then the same copy pasta from every single patch notes when it came to fixes, being various minor adjustments to the locations, various minor bugs, various network errors, other errors, spamming errors, critical errors that causes crashes and disconnects, errors 228, etc. AI changes. The bots on the move now shoot less accurately than bots that are stationary. Thank God. Change the parameters of the effect of bushes on the visibility of bots. Bots now see worse. Thank God. Slow down the reaction of normal bots when detecting the player. Thank God. Change parameters of player tracking at the last point. Bots follow the point less. This is when you go behind a wall and the bot would still track you through the wall. So now they don't track you for as long. Maximum enemy detection radius of bots has been reduced. Cool. Bots now do not fire while changing position to prone. Oh, that's good too. So sometimes a bot would see you go prone, and as they go prone, they instantly like head on you. So rough sometimes. Fixed bosses spawned when they were when they changed appear without guards. What? Fixed bosses spawn when they could appear without guards. Fair enough. Fixed behavior of the boss did not attack an enemy in offline mode. Cool. Fixed sniper bot spawn. So the bots on customs, they're now gonna. So the sniper bots on customs are now going to come back, and you'll be able to get your sniper kills there. Various service bugs related to bots. Cool. Optimizations. So now with this one, they changed to the shader system. Eliminate some of the freezes and micro freezes that were caused by shaders at the beginning of a raid, during combat, contact, and during visual effects. These are all the minor stutters. They've actually returned pretty badly recently, so I really do hope this one's fixed, as well as there's memory optimizations with that. Then they've also added this new setting in the graphics settings. It's down the bottom right hand corner called MIP streaming settings, and improved and corrected options in the MIP streaming settings. So it significantly optimizes the consumption of video memory and RAM in the game, which provides smoother rendering and reduces the number of micro freezes associated with loading textures. So this is putting a lot of the load onto your graphics card, because a lot of the time at the moment we're very CPU and RAM heavy. So hopefully this put it over to the video RAM, making it that little bit more smoother in that. So let's hope that this actually increases our FPS considerably. Nikita said that you should definitely try and use this with it on when you're playing. Option is now available at any texture quality, not just for high settings. Option is disabled by default on low texture settings in raids. Some items icons may be unclear when the MIP streaming option is enabled. Changing the texture quality option and MIP streaming is not available in online raids because there is maybe delay due to loading and unloading of textures, but it's available on offline raids in the menu. Okay, so you can't turn it off and on when you're in an online raid. For an efficient texture streaming system, it's designed to place the Windows swap file on an SSD. If you play Escape from Tarkov and you have an SSD, either an M2 drive or your standard like SSDs, install it on it. It will make the biggest difference, particularly with loading times. All right, I have been rambling a lot, and hopefully I've covered all the points and answered any of your questions that you might be curious about with this patch. I've tried my best to speed run through everything and give more clarification on the patch notes, because I know a lot of you guys would struggle with some of the, like, why is this happening or what's the change with this. I've given you all the information I know from the history of me playing this game over the last 3.5 years. So let's leave this one here. If you guys enjoyed this video, please take the time to comment and like it. Tell us about what you're excited for, what you're not excited for, when's the wipe. Just write something, all right? It really does help out discoverability. Also, subscribe and notification bell to keep up to date for the latest content. If you are not subscribed, we're nearly at 500,000. Let's get us there. And besides that, guys, I do stream on Twitch every day of the week. I actually film this live on Twitch. So go down the link below, give me a follow over there. Come say good day, and I'll answer your questions when I can. And lastly, guys, I'll see you next time.